let's go ahead and take questions for both Zach and also for Corey.
Corey, you had a whole bunch of catches in the first half, a lot of impact. They seemed to change things up on you. How did they take you out of the game in the second half? How did you recover?
I don't really know if they took me out of the game. We just kind of switched up our game plan a little bit. Started hitting a lot of other guys like Carrington, Mike, and we started running the ball a lot more. And that's just our offense. We got a lot of weapons.
Zach, can you talk about the opening? You hit 3 field goals, but it seemed like then you got into a rhythm into the second quarter. You hit Thompson for the touchdown and Corey with the big 70-yard play. Talk about that, please.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to Ohio's defense. I mean, they did a tremendous job today, and I think in the second half they did a really good job of making adjustments. But yeah, I think we started to get kind of in a rhythm that second quarter. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot, so to speak. We had we had a third down drop, another third down play where we had an MA, which really affected the play. So it's kind of guys just settling down. I think at first we were real amped up and nervous and a lot of different things, and we'd never been in this situation. So I think guys started to settle down and started to play our style of football.
How big was
The interception on the one play late, and then talk about the last drive coming back and being able to complete it.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a bad throw on my part, and the guys did a great job picking me up. I mean, defense did a tremendous job of fighting, holding them to 3, and then we went back out there and we kind of drove down the field and executed. We didn't get a chance to finish it off, but we just kept our oars in the water, and that's what this team's all about. And people might think it's cliche and that it's not real, but that's just how we operate. And a lot of credit to the guys picking me up, defense, shutting them down, and we moved the ball down the field and got points, and that was big. And that ended up taking a lot of clock away for them as well.
Robert, can you talk about the takeaway there at the end and what that felt like, especially with your history in the first game against Northwestern?
Just going out there, sticking to the process. There's no better feeling than letting our seniors go out like this. They were the foundation. These two especially built the program from 1-11. They were the true foundation. So just to make a play like that, to give our seniors the chance to go out like this, 13-0 with the MAC championship, there's no better feeling in the world.
Also a veteran move, grabbing that down, realizing that you got the Oski, but then taking it.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about before the play is downtown. So anyone gets the ball, it'll go down immediately.
Corey, what is the difference between 1 and 11 and this feeling right now?
Everything. Yeah, literally everything. That first year was pretty brutal. It was pretty tough, but like they said, it's the foundation year. And that just gave us our strength and gave us what we needed to overcome everything over the past few years. And I'm extremely proud of these guys for everything they overcame and how far we've come. We put in a lot of work, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears within those past years, and it paid off.
Robert, you seem you were only challenged really twice this season, against Kent State in the rain and against Eastern Michigan. Tonight you were really challenged on that last drive. Can you talk about the defense, especially when it needed to be at crunch time?
Yeah, we just really truly stick to the process. We keep our nose down. Every play is the biggest play. The next play is the biggest play. So we just stick to that mentality. Everyone, we knew we weren't going to lose this game in that last drive. Our defense knew that if it wasn't me making a big play, somebody was going to make a play. And we have 11 playmakers, so he happened to throw the ball to me, and that's how it ended.
Zach, can you talk a little bit about Butch? He's a freshman. He's, how has the team, kind of swarmed around him a little bit with not just this effort, but throughout the season?
Yeah, honestly, I missed the mullet, but he did a tremendous job. I mean, Coach challenged him in summertime, and he's just responded all year. There's been some scenarios here and there where we kind of felt like he was losing his confidence a little bit, but he stepped up huge in this game, and to go 5 for 5, those were key. And can't say enough about him and his focus and his ability to really let each play live independently, and just come out here and to make those. Hats off to him, and tremendous job.
Does it have a different feel for the defense, Robert, with Butch and just who he is on the team?
He's just a great kid, great overall person. So we knew he was going to get the job done when we needed him to.
You guys played in front of 45,000 plus. New record big was it to get those guys there, especially with the rise of action last night?
Zach?
Yeah, I just think that just shows the pride that WMU has in our football program and how far we've come. You know, when we were 1-11, it was pretty empty in there, and rightfully so. We were terrible, and just to see everybody show up tonight was just a real blessing and an honor for us to kind of see where it's been to where it is now. And Bronco Nation did a tremendous job showing up, and a lot of props to them.
Corey, it's 9-7, and Wyndham just came in. They just got the momentum back, and then you have a 70-yard touchdown. Can you take me through that play?
Well, first and foremost, it was a great play call by Coach Soraka. You know, we practiced that play multiple times throughout practice, and you know, it was a great delivery by Zach. You know, my part was easy, just catch the ball and run. So
It
that's
seems
pretty
like
much
you
what it
get most of your, most of your big plays or yards after the catch. Is that kind of designed, or does it kind of just end up that way?
No, I mean, it just kind of just happens. You know, it's not really designed. Just catch the ball and run, make people miss.
Zach, the touchdown to Thompson, it was that rollout to the right. Could you have made it to the end zone, or was it a planned play to get it to Thompson in the end zone?
Actually, that was just a scramble situation, and just happened to see CT. I didn't really feel like I would be able to make it. Plus, in this scenario, probably better to try and throw it. And so if I don't get it, we don't lose time and don't have to stress out about that. So situational football there. So I wanted to throw the ball instead of trying to run for it. Honestly, we've done all we can do, and I'm just so proud of this team. And going 13-0 is a tremendous feat. And whether or not we are in the Cotton Bowl or aren't, you know, we can't control that. All we control is, you know, winning the games that are on our schedule, and we've done that. And I couldn't be prouder to be on this team, to represent this university, and to see where we've come from. Kind of like Robert said, Coach Fleck said 3 years ago when he first got here that those who stay will be champions, and now we're champions.
Let's take one more question, and then we'll bring in Coach Fleck.
Zach, you started off 1-11. You talked about oars in the water and maybe 3 media people covering you at the beginning. And now you look at this, you go out on that big stage for 45,000 people. How did you guys prepare to handle the moment, to handle the adversity, to handle a tough defense in Ohio, and come out on top?
Yeah, I mean, Coach put pressure on us all off season, and when he says that, he truly did it. I mean, look at Butch, for example. He had to get his mullet shaved because we put him in a high pressure situation, and he did that for all of us. But a lot of it is just us learning from our past. That 1-11, like Robert said, that's our foundation. That's what made us who we are. That's what made me the quarterback that I am today and the leader of this football team, and that's made Corey and Robert and everybody on our team. That's the foundation. And I think we've built each and every year, and we've continued to learn and grow, and that's why we're champions today.
We'll let Robert, Corey, and also Zach head back to the locker room. We'll bring in Coach Fleck. Okay?
Thank you.
Throw the vote.
Can I sit here and do this? Think about ends. Brought the cork.
Questions for Coach Fleck?
Coach, the 4th ever championship in Western Michigan history, where you began and where you are right now. Can you put it into words what it means to you, what it means to this program, what it means to Kalamazoo?
First of all, it's historic. I don't care what league you're in. I mean, my son's baseball team didn't go undefeated. They were pretty good. If you go undefeated in sports, it's very special no matter what. To go undefeated, it takes a ton of resolve, resilience, energy, commitment, trust, belief, a lot of rowing. Very difficult because you get everybody's A+ game, and to be at your A+ all the time, we're not perfect. We're not perfect people. We're not a perfect football team. We're very real, but it was historic. It's wonderful for the city of Kalamazoo, who's had a very tough year with the shootings and the bicycle accidents. If we could provide energy and hope for just a little bit, and to give them and their families some type of relief to get away from what they're thinking about every single day, we did our job. I told you before, I'm not a head football coach to win. I'm here to produce winners, and I'm here to affect communities and serve and give as much as we can. And that's what our players have done all year. That's why they're a champion. Not because we have the best players, not because we have the best coaches, not because we have the best facilities. It's truly because we have the best people. And it just shows the power of people. Started out with Kathy Beauregard's vision, Dr. Dunn's vision, and they were crazy enough to hire me. And then from there, I got other people who were crazy enough to work for me. And then we found players crazy enough to play for them and me and to believe in this row the boat vision. We've just come such a long way. Again, it's for our community. It's for the 66 team. It's for the 88 team, 16 team, past Broncos, current Broncos, future Broncos. It's a historic day in Western Michigan's history, and we deserve to be in the gosh darn Cotton Bowl. Period. Write it down. One guy, great. That ain't gonna help the committee, people.
Hey, Coach, you referenced the community. Most of that community showed up for that 45,000 plus at championship. How big was that, especially when you guys were?
The boatyard from Waldo Stadium came rowing into Ford Field, set a record attendance record. So proud of our community, so proud of our fans, our parents of our players. Remember when we first got here, we took Kalamazoo and drew a 6-hour radius around it. And everybody thought we were crazy. You can't get any players out of there. It's Big Ten country. You got to go in the South. We've kept 80% of our players right here. And the whole vision of that was to be able to create an atmosphere at Waldo Stadium, be able to name it the Boatyard or something one day, that it was that important to protect. And it's because of the families, the moms, the dads, the brothers, sisters, aunt, uncles, grandparents, teachers, friends of their community. We had people from all over the state of Michigan, Illinois, Ohio, Indiana, Wisconsin, Iowa, drive here. And that's the point. If they have to fly here from Texas, Florida, wherever, that's not where the majority of our players come from. We wanted to create that atmosphere years back. And not every place is like that. It works here. And I'm so glad we did that. We have incredible people on this football team. The players deserve all the credit in the world. It is so hard to do what they did. And they have no idea. I promise you. They have no idea what they just did. 10 years from now, they're going to look back and go, wow, that was absolutely elite. Coach was right. That was one of the most amazing things in my entire life. But now it's the expectation. And now comes more pressure. It's the way life is if you want to be elite.
Coach, to use your
Take me through the last drive there. Ohio obviously had a little bit of momentum. They hadn't been moving the ball under Wyndham.
Yep.
Take me through your emotions during that final drive. And emotions when Robert.
How much time you got?
You got all the time.
No,
Go ahead.
I will say I don't know if I was breathing during that, but we had a conversation on the headset, and I told Ed, I said, Ed Pinkham, I said, hey, listen, the beginning of this thing, we talked about defense winning championships, and I said, I believe in you. We're gonna get this thing, and they did. It's only fitting that Robert Spillane strips the ball at Northwestern to make us 1-0, because we're not 13-0 without 1-0, and they are going in to score at the goal line. He rips the ball loose. Then Robert Spillane ends the story, ends the book of the regular season with a pick. Only fitting. And but the emotions were up and down. But I just believe in this team. I knew that they would find a way to win this football game. Now, take you back 3 years ago, we would have found a way to lose the football game. This team has failed so much that they're a champion. Failing equals growth.
What about Zach? I mean, he throws the 2 interceptions. The last one seemed like it could have been costly, and then can trust him to throw the ball again late.
He's the best player on our football team. He's the biggest leader on our football team. Championship game, put the ball in his hands. That's the number 1 defense in the conference that we were playing. That's a Frank Solich football team. They are one of the best teams in our conference, the second best team now. But Frank Solich and his team deserve all the credit in the world. They came out and punched us right in the mouth. And it was a battle. That's a championship game. I mean, that's what it should look like. I know everybody's like, well, if you don't beat them by 25 points, is it a failure? If that's the expectation now, you got to let me know that. All right, because 13-0 sounds pretty good to me, whatever way we can get it. But you got to give Frank Solich and his football team a lot of credit. He's a class act. He's a Hall of Famer. I have learned so much from Frank Solich in all of our head coaching meetings. He has been nothing but first class to me, sits by me in head coaches meetings, educates me, talks me through different things. And he never had to do that as a young punk 32-year-old walking in the room not knowing anybody. And class act, incredible football team. That defense was stingy. It wasn't we played bad. They made us play bad. They forced turnovers. And got to give them all the credit in the world. But Zach Terrell, 32 touchdowns, 33, whatever it is, 32 touchdowns and 3 picks. It's a pretty good year.
Coach, to use your words, Robert Spillane was one of those crazy kids that was recruited when he won the season. You see what he did earlier in the season. You see what he did tonight. When you talk us through the emotion of just seeing that happen on the field tonight,
Yeah.
knowing what the ramifications of what that meant for Ohio.
Well, Robert Spillane's from the north side of Chicago, Fenwick High School. And I still remember him sitting in my office. We hadn't had anybody committed in that first class. This was after Corey Davis's class. This was our true full class. And I remember sitting down, and I offered him. And I just kind of poked him a little bit to see how far he'd go. And gosh darn it, the kid committed on the spot. First commit ever in terms of, like, your real first class after the Corey Davis class. And his mom said, "No, you didn't. You are not committing today." He's like, "Mom, I belong here. This is my destiny." I've never heard a kid say destiny in a head coach's meeting. This is my destiny. And his mom Gretchen's just like, "You got to be kidding me. Wait till we tell your dad. This is February. This is your first junior day." Look what happened. I'm so proud of him, and I'm so glad he's on our football team, and I'm so glad we had that day in my office. And he was a big-time running back at the time, and he was going to play linebacker for us. So. Well, we talked about, there's a few things. When we started this thing, Kathy Beauregard came to me and I said, "Listen, we'll create expectations and pressure. And if you want a championship, eventually we'll get a championship." We said, "Those who stay will be champions." Bo Schembechler quote. He gave it to Joe Novak. Joe Novak gave it to me as a player, and then I shared it with my football team. And there's been a lot of people that have exited the program and not necessarily believed. But I hope everybody learned a valuable lesson tonight in life. If you just keep your oar in the water, no matter how bad your situation is. Kids at home, if you're getting bullied, I was bullied. Keep your oar in the water, just keep rowing. If you got cancer, you're fighting some type of disease, kids in the children's hospital with leukemia, just keep your oar in the water and keep rowing. If you're going through a divorce, going through a loss of a child, you're going through being fired at work, oar in the water. Eventually, if you just continue to stay positive and you continue to serve and give and make it not about yourself and make it for a greater cause, you'll come out of it on top. And you'll finally get to some calm seas. But the biggest difference between very successful teams and very successful people is when they hit roadblocks, most unsuccessful people stop. They consider themselves failures. They quit. Failing equals growth. That team is full of failing. And they learned from it. They grew from it. It's been an incredible journey. We believe in the process. One day at a time. Change your best. And people can call it gimmicks. People can call me a hokey coach. People can call me fake. You can call me anything you want in the world. All that matters to me is what those guys think about me in that room, coaches and players, my wife, my kids, and the people that love me, and the people that know me and this program and know how real it truly is. And
Are you concerned that going forward, the speculation about your future, your status is going to be a distraction?
no, it shouldn't be about it. Nothing should be a distraction away from those kids. Everything about college football is about kids.
Or will it be a distraction for them?
These kids are. One thing I'll say is we are going to celebrate this tonight, period. I said before I haven't talked to anybody, and that's been the 100% truth. We're going to do it the right way. And then moving on as we continue to go here, we'll see. But one thing I'll tell about this football team is they're the most resilient football team I've ever been around. I'm very, very proud of them. And they created this, not me. They created this.
At a time like this, could you even really imagine the future?
I don't think you can ever imagine anything but what you're feeling right now. And that is jubilation, joy, being a proud parent. And one thing I've learned in this coaching profession, if you don't live in the moment, you're going to be miserable. And I don't want to be miserable tonight. I'm living for right now.
It seems almost certain that you'll play in the Cotton Bowl, and most projections have you against a Big Ten team. You were a MAC player, you're a MAC coach. Do MAC guys want to measure themselves against the top of the Big Ten? Is that kind of a natural?
I'll be honest with you. We keep comparisons away from our program as much as we can. Comparisons steal your joy. Whether you're too skinny or you're too fat or you're too tall or you're too short or I'm not like this girl and I'm not like this guy. I think comparisons in 2016 take away these young people's joy in an instant gratification type world with a lot of things thrown at them. So I don't want anything to take away from what they're doing right now and how they're feeling, period.
Let's take one last one right here.
I don't think there's anybody to pay attention to. Who are we paying attention to? Why are we paying attention to anyone? We are 13-0. We are the best group of 5 team in the country. We didn't lose a game. Whoever they put on our schedule, we beat. There's 2 undefeated teams in the country, us and Alabama. There is no argument. My TV will be off. We will be recruiting tomorrow. I'm not going to watch anybody, period. I'm going to wear cotton shirts. I'm going to have cotton slippers. I'm going to have cotton earmuffs. I'm going to have a cotton jacket. I'm going to wear everything cotton from here on out.
Thank you, PJ.
You got it. Row the boat.